Gavin. So last week, I think after we recorded, there was this kind of bogus image that I, prayed to the gods was real. But it's this bogus picture of a potential Switch Mini that was circulated around the internet. It was from this Chinese marketer. So they were really kind of showcasing their case for this potential Switch Mini, and that's what made the news rounds, so that they put it out. But outlets were thinking, okay, is this legit? Because oftentimes things will get leaked because of cases or covers, that kind of thing, as other third parties come together.
Yeah.
But apparently that wasn't real. So
shocker. I mean, the buttons were too small, the sticks were too small in this thing. It wouldn't be comfortable to play. And I'm not saying it's going to be comfortable to play. Nintendo hasn't been known for making the most comfortable controllers in the world.
The Switch in general kind of cramps my hands when I'm trying to play a first-person game on it.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pull up that kind of rumored image.
Yeah.
But I do think it reminded me of a bigger Vita, which I liked how the Vita, how it felt in your hand. Mm-hmm. But I pulled up the details on that. So this is from IGN. Tom Marks writes, Nintendo Switch Mini cases are on sale, but they don't confirm new Switch is real. So last week, Chinese online retailer.
So you can buy them. It's not guaranteed it's going to fit a Switch Mini.
Right.
We should just start doing that now. We'll sell some iPhone cases, because that's what it looked like. It looked like an iPhone case or like an Android case.
Yeah, as long as you guarantee, hey, it'll work the Switch Mini, but if that doesn't exist, then it never has to link up with anything.
Yeah.
Just call it the Switch Mini 3. It's like that never comes out, so you can't really dispute it. But so last week, Chinese online retailer Hansen started listing cases, screen protectors, and other accessories for a system called the Nintendo Switch Mini.
Work.
I'm sure, because it's like
to cut it down.
It's like a basic rectangle, so yeah.
It'd be funny if it were actually too small. So you're protecting the middle of the screen. I always forget that my Switch has a touch screen.
Yeah, I don't think I ever really use it for anything.
I use it when I'm on the store.
Oh, really? That's a good idea.
Just using the keyboard, it's a little bit quicker.
Yeah. So they go into detail. It turns out that while these products may eventually be real and purchasable, the Switch Mini product shots shown on the Hansen site are the most certainly not. I'm really failing this article here.
Wait, they said while this product may eventually be real.
Yeah, at least that's not really linked.
Wow, that's normally they just say no, they will not comment on rumors and speculation.
And this is dealing with Hansen anyway, not with Nintendo. So Hansen is that manufacturer in China. So they actually talked to them. So a representative of Hansen described the Switch Mini as a long-awaited machine to IGN over email after we inquired about the products, but it made it clear that the retailer can't represent Nintendo and tell all when their new machines will release to market. That said, while Hansen explained that products like this are based on its R&D and design teams tracking the latest developments in the game industry, it also told us that Hansen has its own unique insights. That could mean Hansen has heard its own information within the industry about a new Switch coming, or it could just mean it's saying that it brings something unique to the table when it designs, as is the trouble with rough translations. It's saying hey, we just kind of theorize what this would look like and start. Maybe they're just looking for pre-orders before this thing actually comes out, but it seems weird to design something, if they've in fact designed it, to be around something that's not really legit yet,
Right.
Or they know something, but it seems like they
don't.
don't
Think they know anything.
Right.
Yeah. They're capitalizing here. Nintendo's gotten really good at being tight-lipped.
It seems like it, yeah.
So
I think this thing is real.
Yeah.
But it's just not this, and it will be something, because they've always reiterated, they've always released new stuff based on the old hardware, they've stripped things down. So yeah. It will come out. I just don't know what it will be, what it'll look like.
Yeah. I think, honestly, the question is, will we get a beefed up Switch?
Yeah, that one's interesting, because they released...
Yeah, we don't know.
Right, and they also released mid kind of console. They weren't mark for mark with PS4 or Xbox. They were halfway through. So it seems weird. Do they want to try and... Because they are porting these graphic-heavy games, say not Heavenly Sword, but
Doom?
Doom, or that Blade game, Sense of Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Demon Blade.
Hellblade.
There we go. They're porting these PC games that are, I think it's Hellblade, yeah, that are super graphics heavy.
Hellblade, the female version of God of War?
No, you're thinking of Heavenly Sword?
Oh.
Yeah, which is the same dev, apparently. Yeah. But they're porting these games that are graphic heavy. They're PC games. Yet it's still trying to function on this old, outdated hardware. So maybe they do actually go for this high-end version of Switch that can handle these PC ports.
Maybe, but then you're going to split your audience, which they've done.
It's true.
I don't know. But the Switch Mini makes 3,000% sense. Right. The only argument I've seen from a lot of people, and it does make sense, is if you make it so you can't discontinue or disconnect the controllers, it's no longer a switch.
Yeah, that's where it's gonna get weird.
You can't do the thing.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, how are people gonna feel about that? Like, do you now just put it in the dock and then you use a separate controller?
What they could do is kind of reduce the price or have more secondary options as far as like the actual Switch controllers.
Yeah.
So because you can still link those controllers to a docked Switch or just to a Switch in general.
Yeah.
So you have your Switch Mini that doesn't have detachable controllers, Joy-Cons, but you have Joy-Cons around the house, or you buy them. Maybe they make a cheaper version, so you just link them and still play like Just Dance or whatever.
That'd be kind of weird because they're not cheap.
Yeah, they're like $60-$70 still.
Yeah.
I like maybe they do a smaller or like a stripped down version that doesn't have the rumble or the is it the HD rumble?
The HD rumble.
Yeah,
which I still don't know what that.
Although
means.
for parents, good luck trying to figure out all this stuff where
Right.
you're disconnected and you're trying to figure out. I got to buy a special Joy-Con for my Switch, which is older, or for the kids' mini Switch.
Yeah. I mean that'll kind of suck too. Like when you got Christmas rolling around, they're like, which Switch do I buy? Like if you do legitimately want, like I would prefer of the two, I would prefer a full size Switch.
Yeah,
because then you have both options.
Right. Given the current state, sure. That's another interesting point. So, do they skip this holiday season, or do they announce this thing within this summer fall window?
There's no way it's coming out this holiday season.
But then they wait a year because you want to release this new hardware. I imagine close to that holiday season. Although the Switch didn't launch holiday season, it was like first quarter. It was like February, March-ish. I know it was off. It was still heading towards holiday season, but so yeah. When do they actually release this thing? Yeah, because I guess they would have to already get on board and start announcing stuff if it was going to be holiday season.
Right.
March 17th. So yeah, it was Q1 or beginning of Q2. Yeah. So that's interesting.
It'd be interesting too with the Switch Mini. So I found Breath of the Wild harder to play in handheld mode because it really shrunk down the GUI. So I'd be curious to see like are developers gonna have to design their user interfaces a little bit smarter so they kind of increase in size a little bit when you're playing on a mini.
Sure. That's true. Yeah, because it's already so small and like usually 720p when it's handheld. So
like you can hardly see the heat gauge playing Breath of the Wild when you're in handheld.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I played a lot of Breath of the Wild docked actually.
Yeah.
I have been playing more Doom with the mini, or with the Switch just on its own, and it's rough, man. It's hard for it to keep going. Really? Just like everything takes a dip, the textures, like the actual particles, but
which is weird because like the resolution is lowered. So you'd think I knew a lot of people, myself included, that would play when you're playing Breath of the Wild, you go into the Lost Woods and like it just make that game chug.
It does. Yeah.
So I'd put it into handheld mode that lowers the resolution.
Oh, interesting.
And it wasn't as bad.
Gotcha.